think indeed a great program. I think the kind of variety which we have seen the solution starting from pre-primary to higher education in the Didac is a great show, I think, and the enthusiasm is great, and the participation also is amazing. However, future education, I was just going around and seeing, when we look at the solution providing, people look at problems in Sole. Somebody has some problem with respect to teachers and they try to solve the teacher's problem. And yes, there are a lot many challenges with the student faces. So they go and try to solve the problem with the student faces. And there are few solution providers who try to solve the management's problem. And as an institution owner, when I first started my journey, when I founded the institution, I was much younger at the time, and started my first school. And then I expanded that school from one school to the two school. Then I again increased that from two schools to four schools. Then 4 to 8, 8 to 16 school. And that was the moment I realized the challenges which I had many challenges when I was running this chain of schools. And it is just not primary schools, it is also K-12, I'm talking about 11th and 12th with the integrated competitive exam preparation. And the challenges which I was talking about, it is the challenge with the teachers face, because every school owner has a problem of finding a very good teacher. What you get? A normal teacher, and we all want experienced, very good teacher. How do you get them? We cannot just produce a factory of experienced, good teachers. And I wanted to solve the problem for my own institution. And then realize that if I really solve the problem which my institution faces, it is going to solve the problem of many institutions. Then we came out with the content preparation, a content which we created was a world-class content. It is just not normal books, a study material, teaching aid, nothing like that. We wanted to come out with the study material where the lesson plan is ingrained in it. If you look at NCERT book, it starts with chapter and then concepts. And it is up to the principal of that each school to make a lesson plan out of that particular subject. And it happens across the country in every school. It is like you are reinventing wheel everywhere. And that principal and the subject matter expert, the teacher, can make the lesson plan understanding the requirement. But is it possible to make a standardized lesson plan and giving the room for that particular institution to maneuver on their own based on their requirement? Then we came out with a solution where our study material had the lesson plan such that a very experienced teacher knows how to deliver one particular period, in which format, what should be the flow of that particular lecture, how the teacher should start the class, what example to be used for the students' understanding, which activity to be done, which is the most effective way of conducting one particular activity, and which questions to be done in the class, which question to be given at home for the child to practice. All that is what a very experienced, good teacher knows. But my quest was, how do we make sure that we make a standardized system such that any other teacher and every other teacher should be able to deliver with the world-class teaching aids we've got session-wise PPTs, which has animation, which has, we came out with a multimodal teaching system where augmented reality was made available in the class so that we engage the students' attention in the class, because nowadays the challenge with the children is that this is a digital world. They want excitement all the time. We cannot have teacher who can go and teach on the board again in the old way, the way we used to do it. So we tried solving that problem, but when it comes to child, every school, every institution across the country or other places, when the child do the self-study, he or she gets the doubt. And what is the solution they have? They go to a tuition center. Or they have a parallel separate solution which is run by some other institution which the child has to adopt. Here you are running two different parallel systems, and the poor child that is not a mistake of a child. That poor child has to follow two different tracks at the same time. We wanted to solve that problem. So we came out with a solution. Assume that child has a doubt in letter A to Z, X is a doubt. If he goes to a tuition center, They will not teach directly the doubt of the child, that is X. They will start from ABCD. And that whatever is going to happen in the tuition center, from A to X is nothing but a waste of the student's time. We wanted the doubt of the child, whatever may be the doubt, that has to be cleared whenever, wherever the child gets. So we came out with the QR system. And by God's grace, I think we created more than 20 lakh learning QR code repository, which is video learning solution. Every question, every concept, anything and everything, whatever the child has a problem, he just scans that, teacher will explain him. And the problem with the usually children, once they can have that guts to ask in the class, but if the child doesn't understand in one explanation, he cannot again ask the same question. Here, 10 times the child can ask that particular our solution. That solution will not have any hesitation in solving the student's problem 10 times. So 24/7, we wanted to have a buddy teacher with the student. That is when we came out with the entire solution of our QR code based learning material. And all that is learn. Whenever the child learns, we need to know whether that learning is happening properly or not. In the practice only we will come to know, and in the assessment is where we will come to know where the child is going wrong. But it is impossible for a teacher to understand in class of 40 which child is going wrong in which concept. It is so difficult for the teacher, and we cannot expect teacher to know every problem that the child is facing. So that is when we introduce the machine learning and artificial intelligence, where our system will understand what kind of, is there a pattern in the mistake which the children is doing. And if there is a pattern, that our system will suggest the child what are the learning gaps the child has to cover. And if the child covers that learning gap, then our solution, our artificial intelligence backed system will give him the additional practice paper for the child to do extra questions so that he can improve his or her score. But when we look at entire competitive exam, the halla gulla which goes around the competitive preparation, every poor child has to go to school, tuition, then and the only time available weekend, he or she has to go to a competitive coaching institute. We tried breaking that particular barrier. We wanted every school to be ready for that particular competitive examination, and every child should be ready for it. They don't have to anymore pay another 1.2 lakh rupees in a coaching center just for that competitive exam preparation. Every grade, let it be grade 6 onwards, grade 6, grade 7, grade 8, every chapter, whatever gets completed, after the chapter is completed, we have foundation corner, where all possible different types of question, let it be multiple choice question, where assertion reason is possible, integer type of question is possible, match the following, fill in the blank, passage based question, case based question, any possible type of question, whatever exists, that is, we have tried bringing it to the child to his level. The child will now start understanding the concept, not from NCRT perspective, what is written and all, what is not written, whether child remembers it or not remember. Child will not just look at and draw a diagram. Child will have questions which are analytical and critical. Critically, the child will now think about the diagram, and diagram-based questions will be given to the child. Passage-based question will be given to the child. Critical analysis we wanted to develop in the child, right from the grade 6 onwards. Our 1 to 5 is completely different model of learning which we try to do it. So our solution is a AI, AR, and QR backed solution which encompasses all stakeholders. It is an ecosystem which we try to create, because usually parents, they go to a parents-teacher meeting once in 3 months and they hardly have the 10 minutes. And we expect, management expect that the parent will know all the problem of the child in that 10 minutes meeting with 1 or 2 teachers. It is not possible. Today's parenting is a completely different parenting. Today's child has a lot many distractions. You can't expect the parent to be the same the way it used to be. We have made sure that the parent is now onboarded in the learning system with the child. What is taught today, which teacher is taught, what concept today, what was the assignment given by the teacher, whether my child has submitted yesterday's assignment or not, how many students submitted and my child has submitted or not, what was the marks given by my teacher of that particular subject to my child in yesterday's assignment. Is there any test which has been conducted? Anything and everything. in real time the parent will have the understanding of the child's every up and down all the aspects of the child. That is when they can have a intervention, positive intervention possible, so that they can take care of the challenges with the parent child is facing. And management, always any management, every management has this limitation that they cannot get involved into everything, because it is running an institution is such a difficult process, because there are so many aspects. You have to take care of marketing, you have to take care of admission processes, you have to take care of HR, you have to take care of finances, you have to take care of transportation, operations, so many aspects. And along with all that, they have to be completely dependent on the principal when it comes to academics. And there is no other possibility where the management will know what is being taught in that particular class, whether the child has done good in that particular subject, in that one particular section. All that is not possible for the institution owner to know. So we wanted to break that barrier again and make sure that the institution owner should have the bird's view about everything what is happening. All the necessary indicators should be available on the dashboard of the institution owner, so that if there is any intervention is required, that institution owner should be empowered to take the necessary steps to correct if there is anything has to be corrected. That is in time. Because if it is late, then there is no point even if you correct it. So the idea was to solve in real time the problem which I was facing, or any parent, because I used to deal with the parents every day. I used to sit and eat with the students every day. When I was trying to send the students who are coming from very vulnerable sections of the society, where rickshaw pullers children gets into AIMS, where daily wage laborers children get into IIT, I was so happy that and thrilled that I was trying to do something great. But it was limited to my campuses, where I had few campuses. So how do we make sure that these capabilities are being given to any school and every school? How do we empower all the schools with this methodology of learning and teaching, so that the children of our children should be empowered, our system, our institution should be empowered? In nutshell, we've tried honestly to create a problem-solving solution, so that all these stakeholders involved into any institution are empowered to in real way, and everybody can give their best performance and best outcome. Thank you very much for the patient listening. And again, I thank Didac for putting up such a great show today and yesterday. The crowd is amazing. The energy is great. Thank you again. Thank you all. Bye.